Disturbing events caught in camps, Iceberg. From a man on a quiet hike, suddenly hunted by a deranged stranger in the woods, to a horrifying disaster that claimed the lives of over 200 innocent people. This is the darkest video we've ever made. And the deeper we descend into this iceberg, the more twisted, the more terrifying, and the more unforgettable these stories become. Level 1. Tarpon Fishing. On May 8, 2021, around 6 a.m., in a swampy area of Florida's Everglades, a 22-year-old named Tommy is trying to catch tarpon by a riverbank. The surroundings are quiet, and he's enjoying his fishing. Tommy has a body cam to show his friends the catch later, unaware that what the camera will record will become one of his worst nightmares. Tommy finally feels a tug underwater and excitedly reels in his line, expecting a fish, but instead, an 11-foot alligator bursts from the water and charges at him. It could swallow Tommy in an instant, and he knows it. Instinct kicks in and he backs away as fast as he can.
Well, that puts an end to my tarpon fishing. Wow.
Keeping an eye behind him, aware the alligator isn't about to let its meal go easily. The alligator is just meters away until suddenly, when Tommy glances back, it's gone. Terrified, he approaches the lake to confirm it's left. He'll likely relive this moment in his dreams for years, the moment he was steps from a gruesome death. Level 2. Sean S.W. The YouTube channel Sean Sue was relatively unknown. Its description was empty, and until that point, it had little activity with only one low-quality video uploaded in 2011. But on July 14, 2011, a bizarre video from this channel is uploaded, shocking everyone. In the video, Sean is running in eastern British Columbia, Canada. He's wearing a body cam, filming his run through nature. Everything along the path seems completely normal. It appears others are out enjoying the wilderness, just like Sean, all unaware of the danger lurking nearby. Sean continues his route until, suddenly, he sees something that terrifies him. His heart pounds faster. His breathing quickens. The camera shakes more, and the footage grows blurry.
Holy shit!
Sean is now running for his life, hoping the bear will give up or lose him. What makes this video so terrifying is that it was recorded unintentionally. Sean had no idea what he might encounter. There's no editing, no creepy music layered over it. Everything is painfully real, and any of us could have been in Sean's place, running for our lives. Sean sprints with all his might, and eventually feels confident the bear has given up. He turns off the camera. From later videos Sean uploaded, we know he survived, and this becomes the most viewed video on his channel. Level 3. Snake Island. Snake Island in Borneo, Indonesia, is an infamous and terrifying place everyone talks about. This island is teeming with deadly, venomous snakes like king cobras and blood pythons. The sheer number of snakes everywhere makes it a place no one dares visit. Even locals avoid getting too close. Its reputation among adventurers stems from its insane dangers, where a single misstep could be anyone's last, even for those with vast experience and skill. The YouTube channel Narata belongs to Tyler Nolan, a thrill-seeking wildlife enthusiast who chases high adrenaline experiences. Since 2018, he's been exploring nature, confronting dangerous creatures like snakes and reptiles. Videos like surviving 24 hours with alligators or catching a giant python in Florida show Tyler's boldness in facing what others wouldn't dare, but none of those videos brought him as close to death as this one. On July 15, 2024, after 5 years of effort, Tyler finally reaches Snake Island in Borneo, Indonesia. he wasn't alone, joined by two others for the entire trip. The first was his friend Matt, a regular in these adventures, and the second was Diaz, a professional snake handler with years of experience. The best person Tyler could bring to Snake Island. Their plan was to explore and camp on the island for 3 days, starting from the outskirts with designated checkpoints and reaching the island's center, its most dangerous point, on the 3rd day, where they aimed to find a blood python, a non-venomous but massive and powerful snake that can crush its prey with its body, native to Bourne.
These guys are why. This is called a blood python. People are killing and hunting these guys so much that they could become an endangered species.
Soon also they could be a sting.
As their journey began, they were only mildly afraid, their confidence high before facing real dangers. Perhaps too high, because the further they went, the more they encountered things that could kill them at any moment, turning the island into their grave. On the first day, arriving by boat, everything seemed somewhat under control.
Okay guys, see you later. Try not to die, ha 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 ha.
Well, now we're screwed.
They spot non-venomous, less dangerous snakes and plan to sleep in a cabin, constantly worried that snakes wouldn't come for them after they fell asleep. But the animals lying awake that night weren't snakes but monkeys making noise right above them.
You guys hear that?
Okay.
I'm serious, that's the adult male orangutan.
Should we take a look outside?
Oh my god! That is so wild. They're right above us. They're literally right above us. That's so scary. They're like, we've gone into, oh my god! Oh my god, they're like throwing stuff down at us.
Forcing them to find another sleeping spot. The second day passes similarly, as they slowly approach the island's center, until the final day arrives, a day that makes Tyler and the others deeply regret coming.
We headed out on Diaz's boat for the final time.
The point that we will release the blood python, it takes approximately 2 hours too.
He was taking us to a location so isolated that the blood pythons would be able to thrive.
This just looks like an entirely different terrain.
But with us also unsure if we could trust him or not, it also meant we would be incredibly vulnerable. And then there was a problem.
This is the end of the line for the boat.
They were walking barefoot, without shoes, across an island crawling with snakes that could strike at any moment. As they moved, Diaz picked snakes off the ground with his hands. The scariest part, beyond the countless snakes around them, was their distance from medical facilities and lack of anti-venom, meaning a bite from a venomous snake would leave no chance of survival. They press on until they face one of their worst nightmares, a king cobra, the world's largest venomous snake, whose bite can kill in minutes by attacking the nerve system, making it the deadliest snake on the island. More terrifying than anything they'd encountered. The cobra takes a defensive stance. Tyler and Matt panic, unsure what to do.
It's ready to attack.
Jesus. Okay, all right.
Right.
Okay.
Almost, guys. I need to make this guy away from us right now.
But Diaz tries to take control and stay calm. Tyler removes his jacket, waving it to distract the cobra, giving Diaz a chance to catch it. In a split second, the cobra lunges at Tyler. Diaz does everything to manage the situation.
And that's when the deadliest snake on the planet attacked me.
All right. Get back, right. Get the Oh my god! Holy shit. Oh my god.
And ultimately succeeds in restraining the cobra in his hands. They release it back into the island's wilderness and leave Snake Island for good. Level 4. Local Legend. An old video still circulates online, carrying countless unanswered questions. Despite its age, people believe it proves that tales about America's dark forests aren't just rumors. This person, camping in a tent in the middle of a forest, enjoying nature, suddenly hears a sound from outside. At first, they assume it's the usual noise of squirrels or forest animals, but as the sound persists, they decide to peek outside. What they see prompts them to grab their camera and start recording, capturing one of the most shocking things ever witnessed while camping, so others can bear witness too. They keep filming, not daring to step out of the tent, preferring to watch from a distance, unsure what might happen if they leave. After seeing this, They quickly upload the video to YouTube, writing only that what they saw resembled a Sasquatch, convinced the sound they heard was caused by it. Sasquatch, a creature locals had talked about for years, believed to exist in that forest, though many dismiss it as mere legend. Falling rocks. On June 16, 2023, on a sunny day by a beach in Germany, many people are camping and enjoying themselves. Everything feels like a dream, and no one imagines that, in just seconds, this paradise will turn into hell. Those sunbathing feel a tremor, and before they can process it, their eyes catch sight of the cliff opposite them, dust rising from it. At first, this doesn't scare them. They're merely surprised, and it doesn't seem serious, but it takes only moments for everything to change. A terrifying sound echoes.
Scheiße! Scheiße! Scheiße, die Welle!
And then, people stop laughing. Screams and shouts fill the air as they leap from their spots. Abandoning their belongings, their only focus on escaping, knowing the entire cliff could collapse on them at any moment, burying them under rocks. Level 5. Sound of Terror. On February 6, 2023, Will from the YouTube channel Will's Whereabouts uploads a video from his camping truck that sends shivers down every viewer's spine. Will Patterson has been sharing camping videos on YouTube since 2020. He owns a fully equipped truck, allowing him to camp wherever and whenever he wants, savoring the joy of being in nature. This time, he decides to revisit a familiar spot near Box Hill, UK, a lush tree-filled area with a serene atmosphere, rather than embarking on a new adventure. He sets out with a friend. At first, everything goes smoothly. They reach a good spot, cook dinner together, and enjoy the early evening.
I'll cut these onions up, boy. What's that, chef? Order up!
Is this a pepper pot?
After dinner, his friend leaves, but Will decides to stay and spend the night in the National Trust parking lot, where he's camped before. He parks his truck and prepares for a quiet night, unaware that this night would be anything but calm.
I think this will do for tonight's stealth camping.
As darkness falls and the air grows pitch black, the atmosphere shifts eerily. Will lies in his truck just drifting off when a blood-curdling scream from the forest jolts him awake.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight. There are people about 100 meters away, blazing music out. At least some good songs anyway. And some people screaming.
The sound continues relentlessly. Will bolts upright, frozen, listening to the noise outside. He'd never heard anything like it in this area. His heart races, but he tries to stay calm. For a moment, he thinks he might be mistaken, but the sound is unmistakable. Whatever's out there, causing that horrific scream, is a mystery. But Will is almost certain the area is safe, so he decides to stay silent and still. Eventually, he convinces himself to sleep, closing his eyes with a strange fear gnawing at him. When he wakes in the morning, sunlight bathes the area.
Nobody in the car park. The sun is just starting to come up.
And it seems no tragedy occurred, but that scream still echoes in Will's ears. Avalanche. On October 27, 2023, a group camps in Level 6. Van attack. The YouTube channel Snow and Kurt belongs to an adventurous couple who, with their 2 children, live and travel in a Mercedes Sprinter van. Since 2018, they've been uploading videos of their journeys, quickly gaining a large following for their thrilling travels to lesser-known places like Latin America and Africa, filming constantly. But in February 2024, while sleeping in their van in a busy public area in the US, a horrifying event wakes them. The spot they chose for the night was a bustling location near shops and a park, not a remote or unsafe place for a family to spend the night, and they'd gone to bed well before midnight. Snow and Kerr had traveled full-time in their van for nearly 4 years, always staying in places they felt were secure, never imagining anyone would harm them or their vehicle, until that night. Around 10 p.m., while everyone was asleep, someone attacks their van. Snow and Kurt experience every parent's worst nightmare. Someone pounds on the van's window with their fist, over and over, as if trying to shatter it. Snow and Kurt wake in a panic, their hearts pounding. Fortunately, the kids are still asleep, unaware of the terror. The window protected by a guard doesn't fully break but is covered in cracks. Snow and Kurt are paralyzed, unsure what to do. The area they parked in was safe and crowded, so they never expected this, especially at 10 p.m. after a few minutes.
You never know where this will happen, I guess, but we were not parked in an area that felt sketchy.
And all safe, but
yeah,
it's a big city. It's a smash and grab. They were trying to smash in, break what we had, or steal what we had, and that's all. It could happen anywhere in the world. It just happened to us.
Right here.
Here.
The situation calms, and they realize the attacker has vanished. Still in shock, Snow and Kurt tape up the window and try to sleep. But who could rest in such conditions? They spend the night in fear, worried the attacker might return. In the morning, they find his shopping cart, abandoned beside the van, as if the attacker left it behind. They have to continue their journey to fix the van's window, but that night remains one of the most terrifying of their lives, etched in their minds. Strange creature. On February 10, 2022, an anonymous individual uploads a video from a camping night that confirms the claims of others who've seen something bizarre in that forest. That night, two friends set up a tent in the woods. Everything is calm, with only the sound of wind and rustling leaves, until they hear an odd noise. At first, they think it's just forest animals, but to be sure, they place their camera outside the tent, facing the woods, and go to sleep. What they see the next morning, reviewing the footage, throws them into terror. For the first few seconds, nothing unusual happens, until the light flickers. It's as if someone is deliberately shining a light on the tent, illuminating only that spot. But this isn't the scariest part. After a moment, two glowing eyes appear in the darkness, staring at the camera, followed by a large creature, the owner of those eyes entering the frame. What happens after the video is unknown, but they never returned to that forest, unsure if they'd survive another night. Level 7. Psycho in the Woods. Among hundreds of YouTube channels, Swamp Valley recounts terrifying tales from its travels and wilderness adventures. The channel belongs to a man passionate about bushcraft and nature. On October 10, 2022, he uploads a video reminding viewers of 2 critical hiking rules. 1. Never go into the wilderness alone. And 2. If you do, always carry something for self-defense, as you never know what you might encounter. That day, he sets out to join 2 friends for a night of camping in the forest.
Alright, so I'm in Lanfine Estate and heading up to go meet Colin and Sam. They've already got to the camp and just gonna go have a little fire, chill out, should be good. Stay tuned.
But even before reaching them, he realizes he's not alone. All he has is his backpack and camera, which clearly won't help. In his first steps near the forest, he notices a man following him.
Right, I don't want to sound like a big pansy. This is really freaking me out. Somebody is actually following me, and it's freaky, man.
He crosses puddles, unaware that minutes later, he'll collapse lifeless in a riverbed. At first, he thinks he's imagining it or that the man is just on his own path, but every time he looks back, the man is there. When he's certain he's being followed, he quickens his pace and veers into the forest, likely the worst decision he could make. His plan is to hide among trees and bushes.
I'm gonna hide. Alright, let's see how good he is in the woods. How the hunted become the hunter.
But the opposite happens. Within minutes, the creepy man finds him. Terror chokes Luke, but he can't stand still and must keep moving. He has no idea who the stranger is or why he's following, but it's clear the man's intentions aren't good and would harm him if he caught up, and that's what happens. Seconds later, believing he's lost the strange man in the forest, Luke slows down. But when he turns, he sees him again, much closer, angrier, and holding a lit torch.
Oh, fucking hell! Jesus! Fucking hell! Oh, fucking hell! The fuck it!
In the ensuing struggle, Luke loses control and falls into a puddle. We don't know if he's alive, but he's either unconscious or unable to move.
Oh, fucking hell! Fucking... Get the fuck away from me! Get the fuck away from me! Ah, fucking hell! Ah!
The camera, still recording, doesn't capture the madman's face. He picks up his torch and leaves. Massive explosion. In July 1978, on a sweltering afternoon at Los Alfax Beach in Spain, the coastal campsite is unusually crowded. Nearly 800 people are there, either in tents or with their campers. Mostly tourists eager to spend their holidays by the sea. Everything is calm, as if nothing could ruin the seaside paradise, until around 2:35 p.m. A tanker truck carrying 23 tons of liquid propylene, a highly flammable gas, leaves the Tarragona refinery and passes along the road beside the campsite. The driver, Francisco, is alone, and his truck is overloaded by 4 tons. No one knows exactly what happened in that fateful moment. Some say gas was leaking from the truck. Others claim a tire burst, causing it to veer off the road. What's certain is that, whatever the cause, the truck crashes into a wall near the campsite, overturns, and chaos erupts. A strange white cloud of propylene gas spreads into the air, moving like a thick fog with the wind directly toward the campsite and nearby discos, marking the start of a disaster. At first, people watch the cloud with curiosity, some even approaching it, unaware it's a bomb ready to ignite. Then it happens, a spark, and it's over. The gas erupts into flames, fire engulfing everything, swallowing the entire campsite. A massive fireball, with temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees, incinerates everything in seconds. The explosion's roar is heard miles away. Tents, campers, and even people eating lunch vanish in the flames. 158 people die instantly. Survivors with horrific burns run through the campsite, some throwing themselves into the sea, only worsening their injuries as the water near the shore boils from the heat. Screams mix with the stench of burning. It's as if hell has descended on Earth. Those far from the initial blast, spared the worst, search frantically for help. But ambulances are too few for the scale of the injured. Nearby hospitals overflow. Many with 90% burns linger in hospitals for days before succumbing. Over the following weeks, the death toll rises to 215, including the driver, whose watch, melted on his wrist, stops at 2:36. Another 200 are injured, many scarred for life. The next day, the campsite resembles an apocalyptic scene. Burned tents, melted cars, and the pervasive smell of smoke. Identifying victims is difficult, as the campsite kept no guest list. 2 bodies are never identified and are buried in unmarked graves. The disaster shocks Europe. Families from across the continent call hospitals and consulates, but many receive only tragic news. Investigations later reveal the truck lacked a safety valve and wasn't properly inspected. The trucks company and the refinery face trial for negligence, but only a few were sentenced to 1 year in prison. The campsite is rebuilt and reopens 6 months later, but Los Alfaques never regains its former charm.